Before we go any further, may I kindly request that if there's someone here who has got an account at Truett's, please help the perishing. Save the perishing. I need not say anything much. Trouble sometimes are here. So what we are going to do, we are going to listen to a song. I think some of you remember the song. Trouble sometimes are here. Yeah, that song. We're going to listen to that song. We're going to listen to two versions of that song. And then we are going to go for the jugular. So, okay, let me play. I'm going to play the softer version first, and then I'll play the other version afterwards.
Trouble sometimes are here, filling men's hearts with fear. Freedom we all hold dear. Now it's freedom's now at stake. Humbling your hearts to God. Safe from the chastening rod. Seek the way pilgrims trod. Christians away.
Saints, did you hear what the song was saying? Okay, let us pray. Our Father who is in heaven, we humbly come before your throne as we are about to hear you speaking to us. May you help us understand your word. May you help us hear your voice. May you increase, and may I decrease. May we all decrease, and may all glory, honor, praise, adoration be directed to you, Father. Speak once, let us hear you a countless number of times. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Saints, did you hear the lyrics of the song? The song is saying, trouble sometimes are what? Trouble sometimes they are here. Filling men's hearts with what? With fear. Are you together? Then this is the part now that is going to touch our I don't know that you can say lesson or what, because we are advised by the spirit of prophets that in the last days like this, there should be less of preaching and more of teaching. The second part says, freedom we all hold dear now is at stake. Are you getting that part? The freedom that we now enjoy, the freedom that we have right now to come here and worship God according to our conscience is at stake. All this is coming to an end soon and very soon. Gatherings like this, they are going to be bad. They are going to be done away with. Your refusal to listen to what they will say would lead to your head being chopped. So, saints, this is the time that we need to maximize worshiping God. When you are given a moment to do something for God, do it with all your heart. When you are given a moment to worship God, worship Him in the splendor of holiness with all your heart, soul, and spirit, because a time is coming when it's going to be punishable by death to worship God on a day that He instituted in the Garden of Eden when He created what? The heavens and the earth. So the song is telling us here that the freedom we all hold dear now is at stake. You will see as we go on here. And then he says, because humbling your heart to God saves from the chastening rod. When you humble, says humbling yourself saves from the chastening rod. Those who are in the group, the reading remnant, will understand this. There's a chapter that we're studying where we're looking at the 7 last plagues and the wicked, and the 7 last plague and the what? And the righteous. Right? So if you humble yourself before God and do His will, you will save yourself from the chastening rod, because those who are wicked, when the 7 plagues are falling on earth, hey, they are going to be in big trouble. They are going to be in big trouble. The wicked, during the time when the 7 plagues are falling on Mother Earth, you wish you were not born. So it's incumbent upon you and me to make sure that our names are in the Lamb's Book of Life, so that we'll be on the side of the what? The righteous. Because when the 7 plagues are falling, the righteous are not going to be what? Adversely affected by the plagues. Are you together, saints? Saints, this is a serious matter. This is a matter of life and death. This is a matter that determines your eternal destiny. No wonder why some other people, especially the wicked ones, we are told in the book Last Day Events, they are going to say, yo, I am lost. I am eternally lost. Saints, do you understand what it means to be eternally lost? To be lost forever and ever. Are you getting that? We don't even understand what forever and ever means, because to us, eternity is something unfathomable. Now listen to this. It says here, seek the way pilgrims rode. Christians awake. Christians are sleeping. The Laodicean church is sleeping. This song here is telling us to wake up. Wake up and just scrutinize your environment. Scrutinize what's going on. Scrutinize what's happening. Wake up, Christians. The image of the beast is being formed. Systems are being put in place. Through subtle means, the image of the beast is being formed. You know, when I talk about the beast like this, I remember who's this Mapalo saying, hey elder, the way you talk about the beast is like you are the beast yourself. Saints, yes, I have to talk about the beast. You know why? We as Seventh-day Adventists, we are the Ezekiels. If you read the book of Ezekiel, it says, we are the watchmen on the walls of Zion. When we see things happening, we are supposed to blow the trumpet and warn the people. Tell them that, hey, the enemy is coming. Get ready. Get out of the city. The enemy is coming. Because if you don't blow the trumpet, and the people die because of their iniquity, their blood will I require from you. So wake up, saints, and do what you are supposed to be doing as members of the remnant church. Of course, the chorus goes on to say, Jesus is coming soon. We know, morning or night or noon. We don't know exactly when Christ said. No wonder why the song is saying morning or night or noon. Yes, this is the part that I dread. Many will meet their doom. Yes. Saints, did you hear that part when they were singing it here? Many will meet their doom. Saints, this matter here is not a matter of what can I say? It's not something to take light. Many people are going to meet their doom. And saints, you know what? I'm not saying this to frighten you. I'm saying this to awaken you. Like the song is saying, Christian, awake! You Laodicean, wake up! Get rid of that Laodicean spirit which is in you. Be hot in prayer. Be hot in the study of the word. Be hot in doing effective and aggressive evangelism. Why? Troublesome times are here. As you can see here, the image of the beast is being formed in what? In the USA. Why USA? Why should we go? Why should we worry about? You know what? I was about to say another word, but now I'm not going to say. Why should we worry about this man here? In the last days, there are two beasts that our eyes are supposed to be fixated at. This beast here, this one here, and this one. But the problem with us is that as a church, we are sleeping. People are not reading. How many of us here are in the group, the Reading Remnant? Those who are in the group reading Remnant, may you please raise your hands. Just want to see. You see? You see? Just a handful. Just a handful. Yet, as an entire church, we are supposed to be reading. We are supposed to be reading and asking God to show us the clues as to how we ought to work out our own salvation with fear, trembling, supplication, and honor. Okay, I'm not going to go more and read a lot about this song, but I just wanted to bring out that aspect there. You know, it says, many will meet their doom. Their doom, I mean, trumpets will sound. All of the dead shall rise. Righteous meet in the skies, going where no one dies. Heavenward bound. Saints, don't you want to be amongst those who are going to pop up from their graves if you be dead? Or if you be alive, don't you want to be amongst those who are going to meet up in the skies with Christ and be with the Lord forever and ever? Don't you want to be? And therefore, if you want to be amongst those people, last day events, this very chapter, I think it's chapter 19, that talks about the 7 last plagues when they are going to fall. It says, you know what? We don't yet have the character that will enable us to be able to stand the trouble sometimes, the times of Jacob's trouble. It says, many of us are indolent. Many of us are indolent in the work that they are supposed to be doing to acquire a character that would enable them to be able to stand before God, a consuming fire, without an intercessor. Not that they don't need an intercessor, because Christ would have completed his intercessory work in the most holy place of the sanctuary. We are too indolent, saints. Maybe if I'm to repeat again the statistics, I'm always mentioning this. Not even 1 out of 20 are ready to close their earthly chapter. Saints, you know what? Let me try and make you understand how we take this thing for granted. Some of us think, like, okay, no, for now, things are still okay. I'm aware that the angels are still holding the 4 winds on the 4 corners of the earth. I think I can continue doing what I'm doing. But once I see that, so sure, then I will change. Hey, you'll be thinking about that. You get into your car right now. That's by the gate here. When you're about to turn left, there's a bonnet coming that side. Hammers, you dead. And when you die there, probation closed. Imagine your probation closes when you're in the midst of doing something which is wrong. Saints, you don't have to wait for the corporate close of probation, because probation can close right now when you die. Standing as I am here like this, I can have a heart attack, game down, dead, pelile, probation closed. Can we see how much we play when it comes to the issue of our salvation, saints? Let me not waste a lot of time. There are some things that are happening in this world, especially in the USA, that are pointing to the fact that trouble sometimes are here. No wonder why the topic is saying first time in US history. The USA was formed as a Protestant nation. Do you understand that? What does it mean to be a Protestant nation? Remember, the founders of the USA in that ship called the Mayflower, they were running away from persecution from Europe. And when they formed the nation of the USA, they deemed themselves to be Protestants, meaning that they were protesting against popery. They were protesting against the papacy. And they were saying that they even came up with laws that Congress shall not form any law that prevents the establishment of a what? Do you remember the amendments? So America was established by the forefathers as a Protestant nation, meaning that it's a nation that has got nothing to do with this year. Can you see this? What? Who's this here? Who's this? Who's this? What is he holding there?
Coin.
What is he holding there? Okay, you will see it when we go further. And can you see here that here we've got the state. This is the state USA, and this is the church. America, one of its amendments mentions that there should be a separation of church and state. If you look in history, every time church and state come together, something bad happens. There is persecution. Are you aware that Christ himself, he was killed by a coming together of church and state? Leaders of the church, the Pharisees and them, they worked together with who? Pilate, remember? Pilate, that's the state, and then the church leaders, they took Christ. So those two, they worked together and destroyed Christ. That's what's going to happen in the last days. Church and state are going to unite and destroy those who are what? Who want to keep God's commandments. As we speak right now, that movement is gathering momentum in the USA. So there are some things that have happened now in the USA for the first time that are showing us things are what? Things are bad. Now look at this. For the first time in the USA, Trump's cabinet is dominated by Catholics. The Council of Trump, Catholicism's uncomfortable prominence in US politics. You know what? If the forefathers or the founding fathers of the USA, if they were to wake up and realize, America is now like this, I guess they would faint. This coming together of the United States and the papacy, it's something that something unfathomable when it comes to the founders of USA. The church has made inroads when it comes to the government of the USA, and most of the people who are in prominent positions of Trump's second administration are Catholics. The church has made its way into the USA government. They are pulling strings. They are controlling the policy. And this policy that they are controlling, it's leading to a time whereby church and state will come together, and then there's going to be an establishment of a law to worship God on a spurious Sabbath. And when that happens, the image of the beast would have been formed. Are we together, saints? The image of the beast is when Protestant America, right? The religious leaders of America, when they come together and go to the state and say, can you please enact a law that would make sure that nobody does any work on a Sabbath day? And remember, when they say Sabbath, they're not talking about the 7th day Sabbath. They're talking about the spiritual Sabbath, which is Sunday. Check what happened in Uganda. What law was passed in Uganda recently? Yes, Sidi. Exactly. Imagine. They passed a law that each and every last Sabbath of every month, everybody, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., you don't do anything, no cars, no what, you are cleaning. We thank God that the President of the Union had to solicit the Prime Minister, and they were given a leeway to say, no, it's fine, as for you, we are exempting you, so you can do your cleaning either on a Friday or on a Sunday. But a time is coming when more laws are concerning the Sabbath are going to they're going to be put in place, and there will be no exemption. Right now, they are giving exemptions because you know what? We haven't yet reached that time. So all these things are pointing, says that, hey, Please, wake up, saints. Wake up. The image of the beast is almost formed there. Jesus is about to come. That troublesome time, that time whereby there is going to be trouble as never was, is coming. There is going to be trouble. Remember, during the time when Jerusalem was besieged, Mama, you see that baby that you are holding there? During the time when Jerusalem was besieged, mothers like you would cook their babies. Imagine you and Miss Simtala. Check Miss Simtala there. She's got a baby, right? So you two, you agree to get white skin. This child, I think we can eat here for 1 week. You kill your child, right? You eat, both of you eat your child for 1 week. Then your child is finished. When it's time to kill a child, she says, then you go to the king and say, oh king, we agreed. We child our child. Can you hear the rhyming of the language? We child our child. Now it's time for us to chow a child she doesn't want. Saints, can I ask you something? Especially you mothers. Mothers, can you imagine cooking your own child? Imagine cutting your child's head and saying, this like in flour, boiling it in the pot and you eat in flour. But listen now. The trouble which is coming is going to be worse than that. So the question is, guys, what can be worse than eating in flour of your own child? What can be worse than eating your own child? Because we are told that there shall be trouble such as never was. But many of us are too indolent to prepare for that time. We are not reading. We are not praying. We are not soliciting God to create in us a character that will enable us to stand when these two shall come together and put a law and say it is punishable by death to worship on a 7th-day Sabbath. Look at Trump's administration. The majority, the vice president, all of them, they are Catholics. So here what we're seeing the Catholic becoming more and more prominent in the US government. Back then, you wouldn't find a Catholic in the government. But right now, the majority of the US government is composed of what? Of Catholics. Do we know J.D. Vance? Says, do we know J.D. Vance?
Vice President of the US.
Saints, can I just give you one tip? In these last days, read Revelation chapter 13. There are two beasts that we are supposed to watch closely, look at them closely, and follow them whatever they do. USA and the papacy, those two. Make sure every day you check what they do. Make sure every day you check what law they pass. Make sure every day you check what action they take. Because those are the two beasts that are going to bring about the time of trouble. One is the beast from the sea. The other one is the beast from the land. I don't have to explain all that. You are SDAs. You know that. You know that, unless if you are not reading. We know the beast from the land is the USA. The beast from the sea is the papacy. J.D. Vance is the vice president of America. So you know what's happening? It says here, shortly after he became a Catholic in August 2019, J.D. Vance told an interviewer the church's vision of a just society helped draw him to the faith. My views on public policy and what the optimal state should look like are pretty aligned with Catholic social teaching. So you see, the vice president now is saying, we as America, we should formulate laws, views, and we should put in place systems that are in line with what? With Catholic social teaching. Can you see I don't know that it's a proper term to say that, the Catholicization of the USA. Can you see that? So what's happening is that the papacy is very clever, and there are some people called Jesuits. Saints, Do you know this Pope that you normally see? This one. Where is this one? This one. This one is just a what can I say? He is one that you see around. He's one who is more popular and stuff like that. There is the Black Pope, who works in close conjunction with the Jesuits. Have you ever heard about the Black Pope? This one is the one that you see, he is the face of the church that you see in public. There's another Pope that you don't see in public who is called the Black Pope. He works together with the Jesuits. They are the ones that pull the strings, that set things up. And they are the ones that put what people in government. They are the ones that put presidents and stuff like that. This one here, you see, as we move on. I don't want to waste much of your time. Okay, so here I was talking about J.D. Vance, right? Saying that the American policies should be formulated according to Catholic social what? Teaching. J.D. Vance, the Vice President of America, he published this book here. I would advise you to go and read this book. The things which are in this book says what they are planning to do in America. Says, have you ever heard the idiom which says, if America sneezes, the whole world catches the flu? Yes. Since we are in trouble, we are in big trouble. This is J.D. Whatever Vance book. Do you know that in America, when a person is, what can I say, viewed to be the next president, or they are preparing to take over power, right? They tend to release a book that explains what their idea is and everything. They send like a message to say what they stand for. And this man in his book, the things that he stands for, he even mentions things such as the blue laws. Have you ever heard about the blue laws? Do you know that in the 1800s, America passed some laws, right? They called them the blue laws. And those laws were prohibiting working on Sunday. They were like sort of like Sunday laws. And he agrees with those laws. He says we must bring back those laws. Go and read this book by J.D. Vance. Look at this. It says here, J.D. Vance addresses the need for Christian values to restore America. So you see what these people are doing? These people, they're saying, no, let's make America Christian again. But now they're using Catholicism as a way of making America Christian again. Are we together? There's nothing wrong with making America Christian again. The problem is those who want to make America Christian again. What system do they want to use? They want to use Catholicism. And the problem here, the problem that we have with this is the close relationship between church and state. No wonder why one of them says the separation of church and state is just a metaphor. You see as we go further. It's something that we don't have to worry about. But Thomas Jefferson, in his letter, he stated in one of the amendments, he stated that there should be a separation between church and state. Says, are you aware that there is a faith office? For the first time, Trump opened what they call a faith office at the White House. Are you aware of that? For the first time, there is a faith office at the White House. They do services every day and they also meet even on Sunday. For the first time in America, there's a religious office. And there's also a religious liberty commission. The most painful part is that one of us, but I'm just saying one of us from the point of view that I know him. I don't know whether he's still one of us. Do you still remember this doctor? Dr. Ben Carson is one of the members of the religious commission, and he himself, he was saying, no, the separation of church and state is not constitutional. Imagine a Seventh-day Adventist saying that. No wonder why people are saying, are you no longer a Protestant? If you are a Protestant, you have got nothing to do with America. That's the point. America, you have nothing to do with the papacy. America is a Protestant nation. It's supposed to have nothing to do with the papacy. But now I see America opening the door ajar. Even the papacy itself is surprised at the level at which it has become prominent in U.S. society and even the U.S. government. The U.S. government right now, as you speak, is being run by the Catholic itself. So everything is coming. No wonder why Trump is saying, let's make America great again, that MAGA. And then he goes on to say, let's make America what? Christian again. Listen to this. He says, he has spoken out multiple times about the need for Christian values to restore America. You see? They are saying, no, let's restore America. But what are we going to use to restore America? We use Christian values. We use Christian values. Now listen to this. The Catholic Church has become one of the main ideological engines of the second Trump administration. Trump's closest faith advisors remain firmly planted in the evangelical tradition. Yet it has become impossible to ignore that the Catholic Church was shunned from U.S. politics by nationalists fearful of the Vatican meddling in the U.S. affairs. Has become one of the main ideological engines of the second Trump administration. The Vatican was once shunned and feared in America. But now it has made some great inroads that it's actually surprised that, is it us? America is now what can I say? It has become cozy to the papacy to such an extent that Trump himself, you see this one, this is Trump's Twitter. Trump himself, he sees himself as a pope. This is Trump himself, posting on Twitter saying that he is pope. Imagine a president of the USA saying that he is the pope. If we look at how America was formulated from the beginning, how can a president of a Protestant nation want to be a pope? Can you see that he has been Catholicized? Saints, you know what? I don't have anything wrong. I don't have anything. What can I say? Evil or against the Catholic Church. Are you aware that there are some people who are in the Roman Catholic Church who are going to make it, and a number of us here were not going to make it? Here, we are not worried about individuals. We are worried about the system. The problem is not individuals who are Catholics. The problem is the system, which wants to bring about a false system of worship. That's where the problem is. So when we say this, it's not like we are bashing Catholics. No, we are not. The Catholic Church, meanwhile, look at this, seems to be drinking from the fire hose as it reacts to its unexpected prominence in U.S. politics. The Catholic has become so prominent in the U.S. politics. You will see that even Trump himself here, the people that put him in there are Catholics. And now they are twisting him to put policies that suit the Catholic agenda. Are we together? You will see. You know what? Do you know that there is a plan for a Cape 3 in America? Do you know Cape 3? Have you heard of Cape 3? Those from Zim. You know Cape 3, right? Yeah. The president changed the constitution and now he is going to be president up to 20, I don't know, 21. There's also a plan for a Cape 3 in America. Can you imagine a Cape 3 in America? But the Roman Catholics are planning that. You will see as you go further. Okay, so this is the rise of what? of Catholicism. Now, listen to what Ellen White says. She says here, Protestants have tampered with and patronized popery. That has to do with the papacy. They have made compromises and concessions which papists themselves are surprised to see and fail to understand. Can you see that? These people who are Protestants, they are not supposed to compromise. But now they have compromised to such an extent that even the popery itself, the papacy, the Roman Catholic is surprised. Guys, the way these people used to abhor us, the way these people used to see us as people not to have any dealings with, we are surprised the U-turn that they've made. The Catholic itself is surprised. Is it really us who are inside the American government determining policy for the country? Catholics determining policy for a Protestant nation. Saints, do you understand what it means to be a Protestant? Are you aware that even us here, we are Protestants? What does it mean to be a Protestant? We have got nothing to do. That's why the Bible says, hey, Babylon is what? Is fallen. That great city. She has made all the nations of the world drunk of the what? Of the wine of your fornication. Come out of here, my people. Babylon is a false system of worship. That's the Catholic. This is the mother. So we have nothing to do with the false systems of worship. This is Babylon. But Babylon has made great inroads in American politics. That even the president and the vice president, for the first time, they are going to be Catholic. Even Trump was saying he's Presbyterian, but now he seems to be leaning towards Catholicism. I want to get now listen to this. Men are closing their eyes to the real character of Romanism and the dangers to be apprehended from her supremacy. The people need to be aroused. Can you hear that? To resist the advances of this most dangerous foe to civil and religious liberty, according to Great Controversy 5661. Can you see? This animal here is a what? Is a danger to civil and religious liberty. You see it as we go on. These people now, they pretend to understand, but bit by bit, they are putting in the image of the beast. Are you aware that in 2028 there's going to be general elections in America? Right? And they are counting Vance and Rubio. This is J.D. Vance. Currently, he is what? He is the vice president. And this one is Marco Rubio. Currently, he is the secretary of the state. Both of them staunch Roman Catholics. For the first time, we are going to have a president and a vice president who are staunch Catholics, who are saying policies of America should be formulated under Catholicism ideology. Is there a problem there? Some of you might say, okay, fine, Elder Komo, the president is Catholic and the vice is Catholic. So what? Mara what? Says, do we understand the danger here? Why does the papacy want to meddle with America? The papacy loves America. Why? Because America is the means through which the papacy's wound is going to be healed. Remember in 1798, right? The papacy received a wound when the French took the Pope, arrested him. But America now is the nation which is restoring or which is healing that wound, and the papacy is going to become prominent worldwide again. And so when the papacy and the USA come together, then there's going to be persecution. Saints, are you ready for persecution? Are you ready to die? Right now as you speak, are you ready to die for your faith? Have you heard out your faith to such an extent that you are willing to say, okay, guilty is charged. If you are, I'm SA, I'm not going to recant. Shoot me if you want to shoot me. Behave me if you want to behave me. Throw me in the fire. Are you ready? Saints, ask yourself this question. If they were to come right now here with a gun and say, recant, they put a gun on your head, recant your faith. Are you ready? Saints, this is no child's play. This is a question to say, okay, no Catholic president and vice president have ever sat together in American history. But this is coming, 2028. It has already started because Trump is now bending towards Catholicism. J.D. Vance, the vice president, is already Catholic. That has never happened that you've got a president and a vice president who are Catholic in America. Because the Catholic was used to be America's number one enemy, number one foe. But now, America has stretched out its hand to purpose. Can you see? Let me pass this. This is Trump now. He's counting a J.J. Marco Rubio for 2028. But now, listen to this. Do you know this man called Steve Bannon? Do you know Steve Bannon? He used to serve in Trump's administration. Actually, in Trump's first administration, he was the chief strategist. This man, Steve Bannon. And he is a staunch Catholic. Listen to what he says. Trump will have a third term. How can you have a third term in America when the Constitution says a president can only have 2 terms? That's it, plain. But we who come from Zim, because of what Cap 3, we know that it's possible. The Constitution can be twisted. So can you see that these Catholics, they want to twist the American Constitution so that Trump remains president. Why? Because Trump is their puppy. Whatever they want, they just tell him, Trump, do this, and he's doing it. Trump, can you please open a faith office, White House? He opens. Trump, can you do this for the Catholic? He does. Can you see? Trump is their puppy. Anything they want, they just tell Trump and he's doing. And they're saying, hey, you know what? This man, we're working together with him. Let him continue and be president. Of course, Trump is saying, no, 2028 is going to be Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance. But this man called Steve Bannon, he's saying, Trump is going to have a third term. This was an interview. They were asking him, how is he going to be the president? How is he going to get the third term? And he was like, no, we know. There are ways around. There are ways to work with the Constitution. There are ways on how we can deal with. Imagine working on the American Constitution so that somebody can have a third term. So basically, this is all about Steve Bannon. The things which are highlighted are the ones that are more important. Right? He is the architect of this Trumpism, this populist agenda of Trumpism, and he has got this podcast called The War Room. Do you know that the Department of Defense in America has changed its name? It's no longer called the Department of Defense. It's now called the what? The Department of what? War. Of War. What does this stand for? MAGA. Make America great again. So this Steve Bannon, he is a proponent of a Trump third term which is unconstitutional. He is a proponent of the re-Christianization of America. He is a practicing Catholic. Now, let's look at first-time events in America that show us that, indeed, this world is coming to an end. For the first time in America, a law enacting same-sex union is established on June 26, 2015. Robert Francis, I wish my name was not Francis. He is the current pope, this one. Robert Francis, okay, let me say, Robert Prevost, yes, I'm not going to say this. Robert Prevost, an American, is chosen pope. He is Pope Leo the 14th, and he was elected on May 8, 2025. This is the first time that we've got a pope who is American. Can you see how the Catholic is actually grown roots in the American system? An American Pope for the first time. It's unheard of. A child of a Protestant nation becomes a Pope. It's unheard of. Very, very unheard of. And listen to this. A Pope addresses a joint session of Congress in 2015. Imagine inviting the Pope to go into the Parliament and address Congress. A Pope to address an American Congress. That was unheard of. I think most of you are not understanding this because you people I'm seeing you don't read, you don't follow what's happening in America. But I'm admonishing you, please make sure that you check what's going on in America and you read history. Read this book, The Great Controversy. You will understand what I'm talking about here. And some of you are not even seeing the danger of all these things. Someone can say, okay, fine, the Pope is American, so what? The Pope is American, so what? I'll continue eating pap. It's like, it doesn't change anything. Hey, it's dangerous. There should be no relationship between the Pope, between papacy, between popery and USA, because USA is a Protestant nation. Are we together? Yeah. Listen to this. A religious liberty commission is established which is pushing church and state union. And our own Ben Carson is part of this religious commission. Can you see? Church and state union. And every time church and state unite, there is persecution. Already, and this is the work now that is forming the image of the beast. Are we together? American Bishop Robert, listen to this one. American Bishop Robert Barron, while in a religious liberty commission meeting, states that individuals don't have the right to personal liberty of conscience. Now they are talking now. Can you hear can you hear what they're saying? Can you hear what they're saying? You have got no liberty. You have got no right to personal liberty of conscience. They can determine which day you worship. They can determine your faith, your religion. They'll come and tell you, hey, Mr. Tangaza, stop sleeping during divine service. You are going to be a Catholic, you'll be worshiping on Sunday. Don't tell us about your Sabbath. Imagine, for the first time, this is being said here. Can you see? This is a dangerous statement, this one. America was dedicated to God under Catholicism on May 17, 2026 and July 4. Do you know that America was celebrating its 250th anniversary? Did you see those things? And all those things were done under what? Catholicism. Most of the people that were praying and giving whatever speeches and stuff, and all of them are Catholics. Imagine America celebrating its anniversary as a Protestant nation, and then the people that come now to grace the occasion, all of them are Catholics. All of them that come and speak and give speeches and pray, they are all Catholics. Yay! Trouble sometimes I hear sense. America gives a liberty or freedom medal to a pope. This has never happened. How can you give a liberty or a freedom medal to someone who believes that people don't have this personal, the right to personal liberty of conscience? The very person who's going to trump people's liberty and freedom, you give him a medal. Does that make sense? Sense? For the first time, a sitting American president, Donald Trump, says, I am king. Just like who? This one who said Cape 3. He wants to also form a what? A kingdom that side. Yeah, he wants to form a kingdom. Can you see? Trump says, I am king. You know what? If you think I'm lying, when you get home, just Google and say Trump statement, I am king. You will find it. He sees himself as a king. America is a what? Is a Republican. They believe in republicanism, not monarchy. It's not a kingdom, but Trump says he is king. A golden statue of a sitting president, Donald Trump, is erected. Do you see the statue? And you people, are you not following current events? Haven't you seen Trump's golden statue? And the people were busy ululating, worshipping the golden statue of Trump. Haven't you seen that? Google Trump's golden statue, you'll find it. A sitting president. Imagine. A sitting American president, Donald Trump, said, I would like to be a pope. Imagine an American president wanting to be a pope. It's just like me, yeah. With the way God please forgive me, with the way I resent that ZANU-PF that side. And then I say, yes, I want to be a member of ZANU-PF. How can Trump want to be a pope? A Protestant, a president of a Protestant nation. He has been indoctrinated with Catholicism. So that's why now he's gravitating towards Catholicism and is dragging the nation towards Catholicism. Saints, look at this. A White House fake office is established for the first time in America. These things have never happened. A sitting president, Donald Trump, attempts to put his image on US currency, paper bill, and coin while alive. If you look at the American currency, there's our George Washington and what, but Trump says, what is I'm still president? I want a coin that has got my face. I want a note that has got my image. Can you see? Can you see the problem here? What is the problem with that? He wants to be feared. He wants to be king. And when he's king, he's going to just, no wonder why he's busy with those executives. They call them what? Executive orders. Acting as a king. Yet America is a Republican nation. So can you see that America is actually slowly moving away from being a Republican state and you know what, a constitutional democracy into becoming a theocracy. Are you seeing that? And when they become a theocracy, it's easy for them to what? To put this law of what? The mark of the beast. National Sunday law. Blue laws. A sitting president, Donald Trump, proclaimed a national day of rest, of worship for Jews on May 16th. Did you see this? Do you know that on the 16th of May, this was popular on the news, Donald Trump, he declared a national day of rest. It was on a Sabbath for the Jews in America. Do you know that? So, and then when he did that, and listen to this, when he did that, those who worship on Sunday, they went to him and said, Mr. President, we also want our own day. And then what did he do? On the 17th of May, he also proclaimed a national sunrise service on Sunday. Can you see this? Can you see politics meddling with what? With church? I'm not going to say much. This is Pope Leo now receiving the what? The medal in the 250 whatever celebration. Now, saints, you know, when somebody was analyzing this, can you see this? This is the medal that Pope was given. This one. Can you see that one? Then this one is the cross, right? That he puts. Then someone was like, you know, this image, it is a very good representation of what? Of the coming together of church and state. Can you see that? We have got the state here and you have got the church here. They are on one person. Can you see? A person putting on a medal that represents the state and also the church. So this image here is telling us that there is a coming together of church and state. And once church and state come together, the next thing that we're going to see is the National Sunday law. Are we seeing these things, sense? Yeah. Right, because of my time, I need to rush through now and conclude. This is the medal, which is on this what? Now, I know, I'm not going to say much about this. Do you know this man here is a staunch Catholic? Of course, he was addressing Pope Leo. Saints, do you know that when a pope is elected, he chooses a name of a predecessor, right? And then the reason why he chooses the name of the predecessor is because he wants to continue the ideologies of that same pope. Before, the current pope is called Pope Leo the 14th. Before him, back then, there was a Pope Leo the 13th. What was his ideology? Pope Leo the 13th ideology was about tearing the wall that separates church and state. He was what? Canvassing church and union coming together. Are we together? He was also what? Canvassing for what? National Sunday laws. Are we getting it? He was a proponent of national Sunday law, saying no, we're supposed to bring blue laws and the nation is supposed to rest. And then this current pope says, I want his name. So which means this current pope, he wants to continue with this agenda. Can you see it? Because the name of the pope that you choose, you take his agenda and you move on with it. So this Pope Leo wanted to bring about a national Sunday law. Saints, I know this is too much, we cannot finish all this in one day. This one is defending his national whatever, Catholic. Yeah. There is this one thing about the Catholic Church. Have you ever heard about the term common good? Saints, let's read it, saints. Saints, we are not reading. You know what? The Catholic Church has got this term, okay, as I'm about to conclude now, has got this term that they say the common good. They're saying, okay, listen to this. The common good, on the other hand, the Pope continued, is much more than the sum of individual interests. It moves from what is best for me to what is best for everyone. So when they say common good here, they're saying no. For the sake of the climate, let us rest one day. Let's make sure that we don't pollute the environment for just one day. And that day is supposed to be a Sunday. So let's do that for a common good. For the sake of the environment. When the environment is okay, then it's going to be okay for her. So when you take care of the environment, it's as good as like you are taking care of her. Because she's going to benefit from that. That's common good. So you see, they are hiding behind the common good when they are bringing national Sunday law. I'm getting it, saints. Saints, we need to be awake here. Saints, please go and read and understand. Trouble sometimes are here. The national Sunday law is at the doorstep. Okay, now look at how prominent the Catholic is now in USA. All candidates from both parties, you know, in America there are only two parties. There's Republicans and what? Democrats. And they're saying all the candidates for the next elections, which are in 2028, all of them, they are baptized Catholics from these two parties. All of them, they're baptized Catholics. Just like saying the candidate from ZANU-PF and the candidate from MDC, or say the candidate from a DA and the one from ANC, all of them, they are baptized Catholics. So whoever wins is going to be what? It doesn't matter, there's going to be a Catholic president. Can you see how prominent the Catholic Church now is in America? 20% of the US population. How many people are there in America? 20% of the population is Catholic. Look at this. 28% of congressmen are Catholics. These are people that put the legislation of the nation. 38% of state governors are Catholics. Now, this one hit me between my eyes. Catholics form 2/3 of the Supreme Court justices. Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the one that, interprets the Constitution and all those things. When you come up with ideologies, they are the ones that do that. 2/3 of them are Catholics. Can you see the danger here? They are pushing their own Catholic agenda. This is the beast from the sea. I'm not going to talk much about it. Only two statements from them. Listen to what the Catholic Church says. The church is above the Bible. And this transference of Sabbath observance is proof of that fact. Do you know that when you ask the Catholics, when you ask them, which one is the Sabbath day? They'll tell you, no, the seventh day, Saturday, is the Sabbath day. Why then do you worship on Sunday? No, we worship on Sunday because the church, as a result of its what ecclesiastical power, is transferred the solemnity of the day from Saturday to Sunday. You see, they agree, they even say themselves, no, Sabbath is 7th-day Sabbath. But Runa, because of Mahata Aruna, our ecclesiastical power, we have transferred the solemnity of this day from Saturday to Sunday because of our own power. Because why? Because they believe that they are above the Bible. Can you see that? Can you see that? Of course, the Catholic Church claims that the change was her act, and the act is a mark of your what? Ecclesiastical power and authority in religious matters. This is America. If you read in Revelation 13, I'm not going to go there. It starts like a lamb and then it begins to speak like a dragon. America is now starting to speak like a dragon. When they speak like a dragon, you know the national Sunday law is there. The beast from the earth. I'm not going to read much. Go and look a great controversy 4421. You see. So can you see what's going on here? This is America stretching out its hand to the purpose and saying, "Come, let's work together." National Sunday law is at hand. Can you see? Even if you look at the buildings, can you see this part of the building? This is the purpose. This part of the building and the White House, this top part, they are a replica. They are a replica. Meaning these two people, they are working together. I'm not going to go through this. I'm not going to go through this. Can I please ask you, saints, if you get a chance, can you read this book, The New World Order by Pat Robertson? Get this book and read. There are some things that he mentions there which are so scary. Like for instance, he talks about, he says, it is not the duty of any particular group of people. It is not the duty of the church, but it's the duty of the government of its people to thus proclaim a day, a Sabbath, to be universally observed throughout the length and breadth of our land. You see, he's canvassing for the establishment of a day of worship. Can you see that? Sunday as the Lord's day. Can you see? He's pushing for Sunday to be the Lord's day in which people are going to worship. This is the gentleman, the Chief Justice. Remember, I said 2/3 of the Chief Justices are what? Are the Catholic. Now listen to what they are saying. The wall of separation between church and state is a metaphor based on history. It's not something real. It's just a metaphor. Can you hear that? And he is a Chief Justice. 2/3 of them, they believe in this. And then when they are sleeping in church when they are doing this. Church and state will unite to enforce religious liberty. Can you see this? Yeah, this one also touched me. Brown University's community newspaper states that the Sabbath must be enforced even if it inconveniences others. Sunday law will be what? Established even if it inconveniences you. A major online newspaper claims that Sunday rest will reduce cognitive decline, reverse brain rot, and create stress-free utopia. So you know what they're saying? They're saying these problems that we're having, the solution to these problems is Sunday rest. National Sunday law coming. So finally, what is the admonition from the spirit of prophecy in terms of how we are going to face this? So she's asking here, what are you doing, brethren, in the great work of preparation? Says, are you preparing? You can see, you just saw here, we have seen that the Catholic Church has taken over America. It has taken over the government, the judiciary, everything. So the next thing is the National Sunday law. So what are you doing in preparation for that? Are you preparing, saints? When was the last time that you fasted and prayed? Saints, Those who are uniting with the world are receiving the worldly mode and preparing for the mark of the beast. You receive the mark of the beast, when the 7 plagues are going to fall, you are going to be in trouble. So it's the mark of the beast. Those who are distrustful of self, who are humbling themselves before God, purifying their souls and obeying the truth, these are receiving the heavenly mode and preparing for the what? For the seal of God in their foreheads. When the decree go forth and the stamp is impressed, their character will remain pure and spotless throughout eternity. This is admonition. So, basically what we are being told is, let's prepare. Let's prepare. The Protestant world today see in the little company keeping the Sabbath as Mordecai is in the gate. You know the story of Mordecai. Finally, this is what Ellen White says. The Lord has shown me clearly that the image of the beast will be formed before probation closes. Why? The image of the beast is going to be the test through which your eternal destinies are going to be determined. So if you are going to make it, if you are not going to make it, you will be like these ones who are just falling in. This is the test. It says here, for it is to be the great test for the people of God, by which their eternal destiny will be decided. This is the test that the people of God must have before they are saved. So what are you doing in preparing sense? What are you doing in preparation? We have come to the end. Why were the 3 angels messages given? God's purpose in giving the 30 angels message to the world is to prepare a people to stand true to Him during the investigative judgment. Saints, as we speak right now, there is an investigative judgment that is going on in heaven. Peradventure, your name has already been called. It has appeared before the courts. How well is it going to be with you when your name is called? Is it going to be received, or is it going to be rejected? Saints, I want to pray with somebody who said, Lord, we can see current events. We can see the troublesome time is around the corner. But I am not ready. I need to prepare. I need you to prepare me. I need the Holy Spirit to help me prepare for the troublesome time that is coming. If that is your wish, may you stand with me. Let's solicit the Lord to help us.